Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. So in today's video I decided to do a build kind of inspired by the new pack which we got yesterday, so on the 26th of February. Is that the month? Yeah, it's February. So StrangerVille came out yesterday, and as soon as I got the game, I literally went straight in, didn't go into cast, didn't go into gameplay or anything like that. I went straight in and just started building because I wanted to do a new build with some of the new items that we got. We didn't get too many build and buy objects, but we did actually get quite a lot of windows and quite a lot of doors. And so I wanted to incorporate them in this build. And so yeah. So this build is on the, I don't actually know how to say the name of where it is, but it's on the build which looks over the trailer park. So at the back of this build there is a trailer park, and in that trailer park there is also a lot. There's one editable lot which you can move your Sims into and all that kind of stuff. So it's on that lot. I'm not going to try and attempt to say the name of it because I quite frankly don't know how to say that, but it is on this lot. And I decided to build a house for two people, like a mum and a dad and their daughter. And I actually got the idea from Pretty Little Liars that I could have their daughter, and the dad is in the military, so he's not home that often. I haven't actually played with a military career at all, so I don't actually know what it involves. I'm assuming that they don't go away. I'm assuming it's kind of like a normal work day. But when I was building this, I kind of had that family in mind. If you would like to download this house, it is on the gallery. You can search for my origin ID, or you can search the hashtag Jessicapie. My origin ID is JessicapieYT, and I always hashtag my builds, hashtag Jessicapie and hashtag JessicapieYT. So if you would like to download this, you can. So the house that was actually here before, there's been a lot of, everyone's speaking about it basically, because the house which was on this lot before I bulldozed it and built this one was one which we actually got in base game, and it's in Willow Creek. It's on, if you look at the map, and where the secret tree is, if you know what the secret tree is, it's not a secret tree, it's a tree, everyone knows where the tree is, but the tree's kind of got like it leads to the mystery world. The house on the left from that, this house which was placed on this lot, is basically that house. They didn't really change up the colour or anything like that. They just changed the objects in the house. And so everyone's kind of speaking about that and talking about how angry they are, and like it's a new pack and all this kind of stuff. I get it, but I'm not actually that bothered because I was going to bulldoze it anyway, and I'm sure a lot of people were going to build their own houses, but I don't know, it still doesn't really justify I'll just throw one that we used like 4 years ago in. But yeah, so this house is built on that lot, which might make it a little bit easier if you know where that lot is. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm actually doing the landscaping, and I kept the majority of the landscaping in. The front and the front garden I kept in, but I didn't keep the back garden in, but they're both exactly the same. I used all the same plants and all that kind of stuff just because I wanted it to be very symmetrical. And I actually used quite a lot of cactuses in this like build because it's kind of a western world. The Strangetown, like the new, it's not Strangetown, it's Strangerville. I keep on saying Strangetown because I know Strangetown from The Sims 2. It's not Strangetown, I need to stop saying that, it's Strangerville. So the Strangerville is quite western and it's quite western, it's just got the western vibe. And so I wanted to use a lot of cactuses, especially because there's quite a lot around the build, and I'm actually kind of annoyed that we can't have half the cactuses because we've got some really, really nice new plants that came with the world but not in the game pack. Like we can't access them in build and buy. I have actually seen on Twitter someone has been able to find them and then make them so you can download them as CC, and then you can do a build with it, and then yeah, you can upload it that way, and people can download it straight from the gallery and they won't need to go and download the CC separately. I have seen that, but I'm not sure if I would want to do that or not because I'm just not sure, but it is an option. I saw that on Twitter today. I might experiment with that. I think it still classes it as CC though, even though it is Max's items, it is still classed as CC, but I know that why they did it, but it's just a little bit annoying because some of the new plants that we got are absolutely beautiful, and the fern just where, like by the back where that fence is, that new fern that we got in the world but not in the build and buy is absolutely beautiful, and I really wish that we could have that, but sadly we couldn't. We didn't actually get any new plants. I don't think we got any new plants. We just had to kind of use the cactuses and stuff which we had, which is a little bit annoying, but I mean, the game pack itself is actually really, really good. After I built this, I did actually want to go in and play it, and I do actually really like it. I'm not going to spoil it because I know that's so annoying. Literally for like the last 2 days or something, I have been avoiding Twitter, avoiding Instagram, just because I was seeing people upload stuff where it was like kind of spoilers, and I just didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to look at it because I wanted to experience it for myself. So don't worry, I'm not going to spoil any of it if you haven't explored it yet, but it is actually really good in my opinion. It's kind of what I would like, but I'm going to let everyone explore that for themselves. But anyway, speaking about the build a little bit, you can kind of see now I've done the back garden and I'm just finishing up the front garden, and I actually use this new fence which we got in the game pack, and it's the most adorable little fence. It reminds me of the fence that we got with toddler stuff, but just a little bit more ragged, if that's the right word. I just really, really like it, and I decided to make kind of like a front little garden just because I just thought it fitted in perfectly, and the terrain paint actually matched up perfectly, so you can kind of see the terrain paint leads up to the house, and that I didn't do any terrain paint apart from the dirt underneath the plants, and it just matched perfectly. Like, I didn't even have to try and add anything else in. It was one of them things which worked out really, really nicely. But now I'm actually into doing the furnishing, so I did actually skip over the floor plan and the wallpapering and the flooring, just because I tend to do that just because I struggle with my floor plans. I find it really, really hard to do them quickly, and then not, like, if I do them I'd have to cut out quite a lot, and then it would be a little bit confusing. I'm trying to get better at doing floor plans, but for this build I did cut it out and I just did the wallpapering and all that kind of stuff separately. But I am now moving on into the kitchen, and I actually did this thing which I don't know what made me think to do it. I haven't seen anyone do it so far. I mean, that someone probably has done it before, but I haven't seen anyone do it before, and it was actually creating this kind of little archway thing. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not the best at describing things in the kitchen, and I used the new, I don't know what it's called, the thing which you have like a wall and then you put it in between, the thing that's hanging between the two beams. I don't know what it's called. I know I should probably be a little bit more technical, but I don't know the name of it. That thing, I just think it looked really, really cool, and it kind of gives, it's just really nice, and I find it quite Western, and I just like how it looks. So I was actually really, really happy when I placed that down. I think I'm actually going to do it in more of my builds just because I really enjoyed the way it looks, and I just think it makes the kitchen more inviting. It's not just like a kitchen on a blank wall and then it's like all square and all, it's more inviting, especially with the curved countertops on the edge. I said edge and end at the same time. But I just think it looks really, really cool, and so I'm really, really happy with that. And I actually used the Jungle Adventure counters for that kind of section, and I think it goes really, really well with this game pack because it kind of is a little bit Western, and I just really, really liked it. But anyway, I'm just moving on to kind of like the dining area, and I used the chairs from, I think they're Laundry Day, and I used the table from Cats and Dogs, and I don't know how, but I actually managed to make the majority of the swatches of the woods match, which is actually really, really hard to do in The Sims, because sometimes, even if it comes in the same packs, 2 items, the woods won't match, and I went for kind of like a darker wood for this whole entire house, and it just matched perfectly. I kind of got the inspiration from the front door, and then we got some new doors in the pack which I absolutely love, so I'm going to be using them quite a lot, and they're actually really, really cheap, so I'm probably going to be using them quite a lot for starter houses as well. But I think that's kind of where the woods came from. I didn't really want to mix too many woods in, but it's just kind of like a really nice dark westerny kind of wood basically. But now I'm just doing the little entryway, and I always do entryways into my builds. I always do like a little side table and little like coat hook and stuff like that, just to make it seem a little bit more realistic. I always like kind of doing them kind of things. And I actually found this mirror, and it's probably been in the game for ages, but I've never seen it before, especially in that swatch. And I actually got 3 of the mirrors and just kind of moved them up, so it kind of gives an illusion of one big mirror, but it's not. It's 3 separate mirrors. I just thought it was really, really cool, and I've never seen that swatch before. I think the original swatch in the Build and Buy menu is actually a red swatch. But yeah, but now I'm just doing it the lounge area, and I actually use the the sofas from, I think, their base game, and it really fitted in with the kind of theme that I wanted to go with for this house. Like I've said about a million times during this video, I wanted it to be quite westerny, kind of like the town, because I don't really tend to build anything like this. Like, it's not really my style, but I actually had a lot of fun doing this, and it was one of them builds where you put everything together and it just comes to you. You know exactly, okay, this is going to go here. I know exactly what can go there, and it was a really nice build to do because it just all fitted in so perfectly, and I just really enjoyed actually building this. But now I'm just moving on and just doing like the area by the back door, and I've just swiftly moved on and I'm doing the mum and dad's bedroom. So this bedroom is kind of like I don't know what you would class this green as, but a green and blue bedroom with the dark wood influence into it. And I really like that the woods on the window perfectly match the cats and dogs furniture. It's just one of the things I'm so happy that it just works, because a lot of the time EA swatches don't match, and it actually did match. I've said this throughout the video, like, I'm really happy that I managed to build this and everything match. It's just one of them things which it doesn't really happen that often. I normally have to go for like white or just normal basic colours, but with the wood I chose, I felt like it was very well used in kind of swatches. So there was a lot of swatches, and I'm just really happy with the swatches of that window. And I don't actually think I'll be using that window a lot, but now looking back on it, I actually really like the window in the mum and dad's bedroom. It's kind of church-like. I get a lot of churchy kind of vibes from this pack, especially the small little ones. I mean, I wouldn't tend to normally put them in my build, but I think when I do the renovations or just new builds in the StrangerVille world, I think I'll probably use them quite a lot. But as I was talking about anyway, I am really happy with the swatches that it came in, and I'm just so excited that we've got some new windows and doors, and they're actually nice, if I can say that. But now I'm moving on to the daughter's bedroom. And in this room, I decided to go for kind of like a peachy theme and white wood. Although the rest of the house is a kind of darker wood, I decided to make this one a little bit nice and brighter and just more inviting, because the darker wood isn't as inviting as I think for the whiter wood, if that makes any sense. But I just decided that it would be nicer for the girl to have a nice wood furniture, a nice white wooden furniture. Nice white wooden furniture. I don't even know where I'm going with that. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing her room, and I didn't know whether to make her kind of into science and all that kind of stuff, because obviously StrangerVille, there's kind of like, you could have a teenager who's really into science and all that kind of stuff. But I decided to not give her too much of a personality, so you can kind of move a sim in and create their own personality to live here. I've been watching a lot of streams and just like another load of videos, and people have been saying that they kind of like it when people build houses but they don't put too much personal items in there, so don't make it just for their sim, because people sometimes feel like they're just living in someone else's house, whereas I feel like with this bedroom you can kind of just move anyone in and then kind of make it their own. And I did actually add I think it's a hamster or a hedgehog cage. It's one of the two. I never actually normally add them. I don't think I've ever actually added one of them into my build so far. just because I know My First Pet Stuff is one of them packs that no one really wants to talk about, but I just feel it fitted in perfectly, and it just kind of went with her bedroom. And so if you don't have My First Pet Stuff, because I know quite a lot of people don't actually have the pack because of the way that it was done, you can just delete that out and replace it with maybe some like a piano or something like that, or well, not a piano, like a keyboard or something like that, just something if you don't have My First Pet Stuff, because that's completely understandable. I do have it though, because I do actually really like the blinds in the pack, but we're not talking about My First Pet Stuff. We're actually going to be talking about the bathroom now. So as you can see, I'm swiftly done the bathroom, and I used the wallpaper from Jungle Adventure, and it really went well with this build. It's just the perfect kind of Western wallpaper that I wanted. And I did actually add a washing machine and a dryer into the bathroom, because the bathroom was quite big and I wanted to make the most of the space, and so I decided to just put the washer and dryer in there. Again, if you don't like doing washing, it's understandable, you can just delete them. I just thought it would be quite cool to have them in the bathroom, because it's kind of like a utility room / bathroom kind of thing. But anyway, now we're moving on to the basement in the house, which I haven't actually spoken about. So this house does actually have a safe room / panic room / bunker / whatever you want to call it. So I was thinking, when there's like a massive infection going around or whatever it is, your Sims can come down here into the basement and they've got everything that they need. They don't need to go upstairs for anything else. They've got a fully functioning bathroom with a shower and a toilet, and they've got a fully functioning kitchen with a fridge and a stove and a sink and all the kitchen items that they need. And they also have their beds down here, and they just have a few other little bits and bobs just to make it look a little bit more homey and a little bit more like a safe place. I used the shelves that we got from this pack, and they're actually really, really cool. They're basically what inspired the whole basement kind of thing, because they look like they belong in a basement basically. So I used them in here, but I just decided that it would be cool to have a basement, and I just really, really like it. And my friend actually helped me with the idea when I was discussing like what to build, and she actually did give me the idea to do a panic room, so thank you, Lucy, for the idea. But yeah, so now we're just wrapping up, and we're just going to put some bits and bobs. I actually put a listening device in the basement just because I thought it would be quite cool to listen in on your neighbours if there's like an infection or something, or everything's going wrong, and you could just come down here. There's everything you need. The daughter could bring her laptop down here, and that's why I didn't put one down here, just because I thought, what's the point of having two? But anyway guys, that is it for today's video. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching me build this Western styled house with a bunker, and as always, if you do like my content, then please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next speed building video. Bye guys.